What character I should play is probably the most common question that any content creator gets. And honestly, for a while now, my answer's been the same. You should pick either Paul or Fang. But as we approach the 6th anniversary of Tekken 7, a new question is around. More specifically, which characters will not be in Tekken 8 and therefore can be ignored? It's probably safe to say that any cross-licensed character will not be making it. That realistically means we can go ahead and throw away Negan right away. In a similar vein, we can probably get rid of Noctis, but that's not to say we won't see another Final Fantasy character in the future either. Geese Howard will likely not make the next game either, although of any of the cross-licensed characters, I think he has the best chance. Breaking into some Tekken lore, Kazumi Mishima is already seen to be dead, and dead characters tend not to return, which is some bad news if you're a fan of Heihachi Mishima, who dies at the end of the story mode. Speaking of cross-licensing, since Akuma is directly tied into the story of Heihachi and Kazumi, since both of them will be gone, it's safe to say he'll be gone too. Now that the definites are gone, let's go ahead and jump into the possibles. I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but for how little Gigas and Katarina have evolved, not to mention they are tied to each other in the storyline, I think it's safe to say they will not make it into Tekken 8. How about this? Let's go ahead and change gears and be a little bit more positive. The World Warriors are a core 8 characters who originally appeared in Street Fighter II, and for the most part, have subsequently appeared in every single Street Fighter game since their first appearance. Tekken also has a core group of 8 characters who have appeared in every single game, and there's no reason to believe that they won't be in Tekken 8 either. Now that we've talked legacy, let's go ahead and talk popularity. Bryant, Dragunov, Jin, and Armor King are so popular that there's no reason to believe that they won't make it into Tekken 8. Don't shoot the messenger, but I'm pretty sure these characters will not be making it. Leo is in a weird spot, where not only is she not very popular, but the competitive scene doesn't particularly like her playstyle and is typically bagged on. Panda will likely be removed just to remove excess clutter, although almost certainly she'll be at least a palette swap for Kuma. I know what you're thinking, but just listen. With the Mishima Bloodline story ending, there is no better time to cut down on a character like Devil Jin. That's not to say he'll be completely gone, but I wouldn't doubt it if we see Devil Jin transition into normal Jin, similar to how Kazuya in his devil form works. You probably saw this one coming, but in one corner you have a replacement character who is added in Tekken 7 to replace Bruce, and on the other hand you have a brand new, much stronger character who's also very popular, and unfortunately one of them has to go. With that being said, I honestly have no clue who it's going to be. Looking at the remaining list, some of you out there might notice a pattern, and for those who don't,
welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7.
Most of the remaining core characters were not only in 7.0, a game which already had a cut-down roster, but even then, 8 of those are so incredibly popular that there's no reason to believe they won't make it either. And hate him or love him, Leroy is so synonymous with Tekken 7 now, and so popular that almost certainly he will make it into Tekken 8 as well. Taking a departure from the super popular characters, we can start talking about middle-of-the-road characters. Fang, Xiaoyu, Li, and Miguel have recently received sizable changes, while still maintaining a certain level of popularity that I think it's safe to say they'll make it into next game too. It's a little early to say for sure on Kunimitsu, but between her popularity and the amount of changes she's gotten in Tekken 7, I think it's a safe bet to say she'll make it into the next game. Now here comes the bad news. If you see your character on this list currently, there is a very good chance they will not make it into the next game. Once again, that's not to say they won't be released later as DLC, but as of right now, I believe they're all on the chopping block. Now in my own personal opinion, I think Lucky Chloe has the best chance of making it into Tekken 8, but I can't say for sure. So to recap, here's the list of the definites, the maybes, and the probably nots. These are my recommendations on just what I think is going to happen for Tekken 8.